Hey, it's me, TB, and today I'm going to be doing part of my end of the year video series. We're talking about the best books, the worst books, and the books that surprised me this year. And today I'm going to be talking about the worst books that I read this year. We'll go ahead and say that I don't think any of these were most of these weren't abysmally bad. I just didn't like the ending of some of them, or just some element did not appeal to me. I think the first, my top three are actually bad. Otherwise, they're mostly just, I just did not like them. They're 3 stars for me. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get started, I think. So the 10th worst book I read this year was Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a YA thriller released back in 2014, I think, around that time. And that is important for something I'll say later. Basically, this book is about a girl that goes missing with one of her friends that are more like one of her enemies, and she comes back, but her friend doesn't come back. So she has amnesia about her entire personality for them, so she has no idea what she was like, what she liked, who she liked, anything like that. So she's trying to piece her life back together, while also finding out that she was an absolute awful person, and she wants to fix that and find her friend, basically. So this book, since it is a thriller, it needs to have a very strong ending that works for it. Having a shit ending just isn't. It's very important to have a good ending in a thriller, because it has to have all the twists and all the puzzle pieces just connect to each other and just work a fluid motion. And endings are going to be important in every genre, but in a thriller, the last twist and the last punch has to be incredibly important, and if you can't land the ending, it all falls through and just doesn't fucking work as a book, because there's no build up to it properly. There has to be a build up to the twist, and if there's nothing, then it's just a bad thriller. And the surprise twist in this one was just bad. There was no hint that the killer was gonna be the killer, and I mean that that person was never painted as a bad person, or they'd be capable of killing someone, so it just didn't sound realistic at all. And the reasons for them doing that and attacking our main character and her friend just don't make sense in the situation they're in, because our main character is very rich. One of the twists involve an affair, so it's okay, but they're all rich. They'd be all gossiping about each other anyway. An affair would have been probably more well known, so it wouldn't have been a surprise at all, you know what I mean? And that's just a minor part of it. A more major part of why I just didn't like this book is because early on, the first 10% maybe, our love interest is described in this book, and he's described as Hispanic/Latino or Native American, followed by every stereotypical idea of what you would think a Native American face would look like, and then they're called exotic, which is just shitty to do, because people aren't exotic, things are exotic, and even then you wish you wouldn't say that anymore. So what do you call a person exotic? But you're trying to call them Native American, because you can't be exotic in the country that you originate from, the Americas. So they by default can't be exotic, but whatever. Just the fact that a person called exotic, followed by all the stereotypes about how Native American would look like, is very shitty to do. It's our love interest, so they should be portrayed better than that. They just aren't. Something that the love interest is mostly stereotypical in every way, shape, and form. There's nothing new about him. He's literally the stereotypical depiction of what a Latinx person would be described as in most forms of media, which is just very bad representation all around. I think he and his dad are the only non-white people in the entire book, so extra bad. And just the twist didn't land. There's racism, basically, so extra shit. And then third, I just didn't give a fuck, I guess. The twist happened, and I just didn't give a fuck at that point, because I just couldn't be arsed to care, I guess. I just did not give a single fuck about how this book ended. Once it ended, I was just happy to just close it and be done. So yeah, I think I gave this 3 stars, and I think it is gonna keep that rating. Next up is Lock Me In by Kate Simmons, and this is another thriller, which is a recurring theme. So maybe thrillers aren't for me. I don't know. Basically, my issues with this book were that mental illness is used as a plot device, and it uses the typical thriller trope of spoilers, but it's have to use it to spoiler it to show you why it's problematic. Basically, the mental illness is used as you weren't actually mentally ill, you were lying to you the entire time. So it's just shitty to do. Again, I think this is my original review of this when I'm in my wrap up, but it's obvious from the get-go who the main antagonist is. It's obvious that the main antagonist is lying to our MC. So you just automatically know who the main big bad is. So there's not really not a feeling of suspense about who's gonna be the big bad. So I just did not care about that at all. I know what this book is about actually too, But it's about this girl who has dissociative identity disorder. Couldn't say that. And she accidentally something bad happened to her friend when she had an episode. Then something bad happens when her boyfriend goes missing. She's worried that she might have done something to him like she did to her friend. So yeah, she's trying to find her boyfriend to cover her ass, basically. This book wasn't memorable to me at all. I don't remember anything about it. And with the mental illness thing, it's just, it tries to wrap stuff up in a way that just doesn't make sense. Like, don't look back. The ending conclusion thread, like the threads coming together just don't work at all. Like, the big twist at the ending, just so, what the fuck? That's just not a believable what the fuck. It's more of like a, that's not how life works, what the fuck? So yeah, I mean, you might like it. Maybe it's like a thriller for more like advanced people. That's just not for me. But yeah, I think I gave this 3 stars too, and I don't regret it. It was an arc whenever I got it, but it has since come out, I'm pretty sure. So pick it up if you want. The next was Beyonders Volume 1. I got this off of NetGalley. That's basically a comic that's about this kid who's obsessed with like finding out secrets about how the world works, basically created into this group, a secret organization called the Beyonder, and he's trying to like save the world, basically. This had a great premise that rushed very quickly to the ending. Like a common theme is that how like the mysteries of the world that we just don't have answers to are actually part of like some big secret civilization cover-up thing. And like in the first volume 1, which is like the first 5 issues, it goes through every major mystery of the world very quickly, and they're all soft, so it's like you have nowhere to go from here. I don't think they planned this out properly because there's just no way to go like from this, really. And the main character and like the entire main cast is pretty just boring all around. Plot was good, but just wasn't used properly. It ended like a cliffhanger note. I don't think there's been any like news of like another issue coming out, so it's basically dead in the water. So all around, it just wasn't great in any way, shape, or form. It was just okay all around. It's not what you should look for in like a book. It should be like good or great. It's just okay. So yeah, don't have a lot to say about it because it was pretty short. So yeah. Next up at number 7, what is The Fears by Katie Lowe. This book had pretty good reviews all around, so I was surprised when I didn't like it. This is basically about this girl that goes to a boarding school for some reason, who knows, I forget, and she recruited like this group of girls that's doing witchcraft basically because their teacher's trying to teach them how to do witchcraft, like teach them the history of the school that involves witches, and it takes place in the UK. And how do I say what I don't like about this book without spoiling it? The premise of this book is wrong. I can't explain why because like the last like 25% spoilers. You can't like spoil for why it's bad, but it's not the best. Other people love this book, so hey, you might like it more than I did, and you might think that the main like the bigger twist towards the end was more like okay and well written. But I didn't think so. I thought that twist was very like lame. Given everything that happens in the first half of the book, like it just made the story very it didn't make me want to be more invested. It made me want to like take myself out of the story more because I was like, okay, you took away the main thing that I liked of the story. Why should I care about it anymore? It doesn't help that like towards the end, people die very quickly, and it doesn't make sense at all because they start dying out of fucking nowhere and go missing. And it's like there's no resolution on any of that shit. So it's like all of a sudden everyone's fucking dead, and you're like, but why are we all dead? Why are we killing these people now? It just didn't make any sense. Why are we all enemies all of a sudden? Why are we friends all of a sudden? It was very rushed the last like 25%. Again, maybe it's just not my taste. Maybe I have shit taste. Who knows? But I think I gave it like 3 stars. I stand by that. Again, maybe this is something that's just too advanced for me. Maybe you'll like it. I did not at all. And next up at number 6. And I don't know if it's really number 6 anymore, but it might like move up or down. But for now, it's number 6. And that is Village by Desire by Candace Robinson. This is like number 2 in a series that I haven't like read book 1 in, but it doesn't have any, it's not like a problem I have with the book because you can read it without needing to read book 1. Because like nothing I felt like I needed to have it explained to me just worked as it is, you know? So it's not like a series, heavily focused series, so I could read every book in a row. It's more like you just pick out any book and read it, I guess, because I read book 2 and I wasn't confused about anything. So yeah. This book is about a mermaid that figures out a way to like take her tail off, and she decides to not put her tail back on. She becomes like this werewolf thing that has like a bloodlust, and she starts killing people, basically. And she wants to stop that, and that's like plot 1. Plot 2 is like a girl in a village has the power to turn into water, and she eventually loses that because it's taken away from her by like the village, I don't want to say like village elder, I guess. And very quickly we find out that the village elder is like the main antagonist in the book for some reason, and he sends our main character in the village has power to turn into water on a quest with like the elder's son to find this prism so we can like so the elder can use like magic to conquer the world, whatever. And so like the werewolf and the water girl path intersect and they help each other, whatever. The issue with this book is just it's very badly paced. Like when I say bad pacing, I mean the entire book is very rushed and like there's no development for anyone. It's just very like there's like plot points. There's never any like moment to rest. It's just constant rushing and rushing and rushing. The relationships are very all rushed. Didn't believe that any of them were very romantic with each other at all. It is under 300 pages, so maybe that's something to do with it. I think this book is now out. Let me go look. Yes, this book is now out, so you can get it if you want. But I just was not all that impressed with it. I feel like there could have been more with it. It was like an extra like 100 pages to like buff stuff out, but it was just so poorly paced. It just does not stand on its own as is. Because like the entire like last arc is so rushed that again, just like in the Furies, people start dying left, right, and center, and there's no like time to mourn them. It's just when someone else dies, the next chapter, someone else dies, someone else dies, someone else dies. Then it's like, okay, all of a sudden we're being betrayed by this person, even though there's like no hint to that. There's just like no foreshadowing when it needs to be. We start fucking dying. People get these like random magic powers. They aren't explained at all. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's my main problem with it. It's just was very not paced properly in the very like last half, and the story and the story elements and like the like premise is very good. It could have been great, but again, it's just very poor pacing ruined it for me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's great. I don't know. But for me, I did not like the pacing, so it's like 3 stars for me. Next up at number 5 is Truly Madly Deadly by Hannah Jane. This is another thriller. I think the last thriller on this list. And this is about a girl whose boyfriend is killed in a car accident, and she's given notes that someone killed him for her, and like she's welcome for them killing him because he was abusive to her or whatever. And this had a great possible twist, was never explained or was not used at all. And this book uses the gay character is mentally unstable and they're the main killer. It's not like spoiled because you don't find out they're gay until like you figure out they're the killer. So even better, right? And it just like things that the killer is literally the only person in this book that isn't straight, like it is just diverse in any way, shape, or form, because everyone else in this book is white. So pretty fucking shady too. It's just all white people, like one gay character, and the gay character is a killer. So what's up with that? And this was published in like 2013, so it's just no real excuse because it was recent. So what the fuck? Another thing issue I had with this book is that my character's dad is like remarried because I think her mom moved to the other side of the country because her dad had an affair maybe. Again, I don't really remember. It's been a while. The step-parents are constantly described as being like awful people. Like the stepmother is described as like being the worst person in the world. We never see that. Like she's described as being like so nice in the context of the plot. Like she offers to cook dinner, like or breakfast for the main character all the time. She offers them to like, take the main character out with them to like out to dinner or to the movies, and the main character's like no, and just yells at her. And she's just like shit. Like I don't see why she's being treated that poorly. Like I get it. Step parents and divorce is very stressful. I should know. Happened to me, but it's just not context of like what was going on with her. It just didn't make sense because like the stepmom was fine, treated her well, and tried to get the main character involved. The main character just didn't want to get involved, so it just doesn't make sense. So didn't like the love interest in this just didn't make sense either. It felt very forced. Like you take the love interest out and just have him be a friend and work just as fine. So again, don't like that either. I think I give this 3 stars. Maybe it was like a 2 now that I think about it, but yeah, it just doesn't hold up in any way, shape, or form. And it's just a book that aged very poorly, very quickly. And yeah, I think I wouldn't recommend this one actually. Not like the other ones I might recommend because you might like them a lot. This one I just straight up don't recommend because I just don't think it holds up at all. Next up at number 4, we have Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. This is the same author that wrote Dumpling, and I think this was her debut. And just, thank God she improved because this book is just not good. This book is about a girl who finds out that she's dying, and she wants to basically do a list that involves very shady shit. So she ropes in her friend who has liked her throughout childhood, basically uses him to do this list. The thing with this is that the main character is at her best whenever she's being a bitch. Just all around very boring when she isn't being a bitch. And like she's being a bitch is very interesting point of view because she's dying but she's still being a bitch. I think it's a very like interesting like juxtaposition to have. Like someone's dying, so it's like you just think of like what dying is being like very like nice and kind, but she's still a bitch. And I like that. It's very interesting to read. But like the last half of the book tries to like paint her as being like mentally ill, and that's why she's being a bitch. And it's just, does that make sense? Because like, or she's just that's just a personality, and that's okay because yeah, she's being mean, but she's also like a 16-year-old girl who just got told she's gonna die. I think that her being a little bit mean to people is like just a little bit validated, you know. And like just there's also like 2 POVs, so like the best friend and like the girl main character, and the male MC is constantly just reduced to like the same 2 plot elements. Either like they're fucking, or he's trying to like sort of like, I won't let you push me around anymore, just to get pushed around by her like immediately again. So there's just nothing to that at all. Like he never develops in any way, shape, or form. So why have him? It's just kind of there to be like a plot device. And it wasn't a lot that I liked about this book at all. It is like a contemporary, at least during the point where like Sticklet was cool and trendy, because you know she's mentally ill and she was dying of like leukemia, or I think, or maybe like a form of cancer, maybe. It's like one of those things that's trying to be like all cute with it. I don't think it aged very well at all. I just don't recommend it. I think I gave this like 3 stars, and I'd probably take it down to 2 now in hindsight. So yeah, it's not great at all. I'm sure the Julie Murphy has improved as a writer now, but this book is just not good, and I don't recommend it at all. Next up is a book that I own, but I can't find it. So I'm sorry, but it's somewhere, and it's a bad book, so I don't like care where it is, you know. It is Perfume by Patrick Suskind. Where do I get started with this book? This book is 3 stars, purely because it's written very well. The ending is just like the last like 30% or so shit, that it basically made it from being like a 5-star, like 4-star to like a 3-star, probably lower, because the ending is just such bullshit. That's stupid, but whatever, we're gonna get to that. This book is about a guy that has a magical nose, so he can like tell what scents are involved in everything. So he becomes involved in the perfume business because with his nose he can like make the greatest perfumes ever, basically. And that's how he makes all of his money, blah 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 blah. It's like the main plot. There you go. He wants to create the scent of innocence, which involves a woman, of course. So he starts killing women to like make this perfect scent, basically. It's an okay story for most of the book. It's pretty good. It's just like the last bit of it is just so shit and stupid. Like the perfumes go from like making sense to being like, okay, you're trying to like trick the brain into doing something. It's like the ending of it is basically like use a perfume to make an orgy happen, and it's like a magical orgy, and there might be kids involved in an orgy. It's never explained what happens to the kids because it's like a crowd event. It's like a crowd that turns into an orgy. There are kids in the crowd, The kids aren't, it's like said as like walking away. So kids might be being molested in an orgy. Not really explained to us at all. Kind of happens. And a dad was like fuck his daughter. Very fucked up. And this doesn't make fucking sense to me. Again, maybe it's very like too advanced for me. Moves like very deep to other people, but I fucking hated it. I don't recommend it at all. So yeah, like I could have looked like this book was just like the last of 30%. Like I said, fucking tanked it. And it ruined any joy I had of reading and took it to 0. Like it was just that bad. So yeah, not going to read it and probably going to get rid of it. Like most of these books on my list, they're all gonna go to a library or to Goodwill or somewhere. Next up at number 2 is Blue Moon by Austin Knoll. This book destroyed the series for me because of how it ends. This is a continuation of Evermore, which I explained in like my most surprising books of 2019. So go read that when we talk about the main plot of this, because otherwise I'm going to like skip over it because it doesn't really matter. This is the book 2 out of like a series of 6, and the ending is like so stupid given what the genre is, like a paranormal romance. Like the ending basically sets it up so that our main character in the love interest can't touch, or the love interest dies. There are like 4 more books. So there's like no romance to build up at all. This isn't fixed until like the last book in the series. So it's just nothing's going to happen. And like I read the synopsis of like the other books to see like are building towards this. And like the next like few books are just the main character bucking up trying to fix it over and over again. So I'm just not interested. And sucks because like I said, the world was so good in this like the first book. It was just shit all over in book 2. So yeah, fuck this book. Sucks the series had such great potential that was just shot all over, but that's life, I guess. So yeah. Finally, the worst book that I read all year is a very controversial pick because I know everyone else loves it, but I fucking hated it. I think it is misogynistic garbage. The main character deserves what came to him. It's not deep at all. It's very shit. And if the author wasn't a straight white man in the time period that it's written in, it would not be held up to as high of a esteem as it is today. And this is a book that's only relevant because it's like shoved down your throat in high school or for me in college, and it's just so shit that I don't think it even deserves to be mentioned. I'm doing it anyway because it is a bad book all around. So yeah, it is 1984 by George Orwell. I gave this book 1 star because it is so shit that it doesn't deserve anything more than that. It deserves 0 stars, but I can't give it that. So it gets 1 star. This book is about a society that controls the world or something, and basically our main character, Wilson, something like that, is like part of it. We want to fight against it at some point. La-di-da, shit happens. You know how it goes. Everyone has read this book already. If you haven't read it by now, don't read it. It's shit. It's basically about I told you what it's about, whatever. So why is this book misogyny? Published in 1949, where we're like, you know, women like basically saved the day by helping out in World War II. Not to mention how women basically fought for the right to vote in like the 1910s and like 1920s. To, you know, a little bit continuing on for other countries. So women are getting their shit together. They're trying to be more represented, starting to like do more. And this book has a female main character that is literally just a fleshlight with legs. She's there just to have sex with the main character, who is like 36 or 39 actually. The love interest is like 26, and we spend like half the book just talking about how young and hot she is. She's never developed beyond that. She's just young, hot, and sexy. That's all she is. Every other woman in this book is called monstrous or ugly. So that's not even the worst part, because in the first 10 pages, I would even find it. On page 12 in this edition, it is openly misogynistic, and I will read you from page 12. He disliked nearly all women, and especially the young and pretty ones. It was always the women, and above all the young ones, who were the most bigoted adherents of the party, the swallowers of slogans, the amateur spies and nosers out of unorthodoxy. This particular girl gave him the impression of being more dangerous than most. And yeah, basically he hates all women, but young and pretty ones. He's basically a fucking incel. And like, I try and say that right here is that women are like the main adherents of the party. They try and like snitch out on people, but throughout the entire book, men snitch on men more than we see women. Like, in the entire book, we don't see one woman snitch. So that's just a straight up lie, because we don't ever see it at all, ever, throughout the entire book. You don't see a woman snitch ever at all. The only woman, like I said, the love interest, like gets any depth besides with our MC. So what's going on with that? To explain how much I hate this book, I read it for my science fiction literature class, and I wrote an entire paper about why this book should not be considered a classic and why it should be taken out of schools, because it just shows so shit. So I think explains how much I absolutely hate it. I was trying to hype up the ending as being like some deep, thought-provoking thing, but like the last third of the book is just MC being tortured for like 100 pages, so he has like PTSD from that. So like him changing who he is as a person is like not anything impactful, because he was tortured for like months. Him changing is kind of like assumed from that, so I don't need to be like, it can't be sold to me as like something being like as impressive because he was tortured and beaten. So kind of assume that he's gonna like change who he is as a person, so that's not anything impressive to me. So yeah. And on this part of it being misogynistic, I'll continue on. Like there's a scene where like the love interest and the main guy meet for the first time, and he tells her that he wants to rape and murder her, and she basically just laughs it off and says that is hot. So even fucking worse. This book is trash, and I want to burn it more than just give it to like Goodwill or something. I just want to burn it because it's shit. No one should read it. It's garbage. And yeah, those were the 10 worst books I read all year. I probably ran through them very quickly, but it's just, there's nothing lot to say about them because I just hate them, and like covered why I hate them all so much. And again, certain small things that just build up and became very badly, like misogyny, a very bad ending that basically ruins the entire series. Again, a very shitty ending, a shitty plot twist, a shitty ending, a shitty plot twist, and a shitty ending. So yeah, just these books had very bad endings, and apparently that's very important to me because I think every book on this list had a very shitty ending. That's why I hated it. So endings are very important to me. Who knew? So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, like, share it. Yeah, thank you for watching.